Happy Sunday, Monday. Come on in, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's Sunday. Who is here? I see people. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hello, Denise. Good to see you. There's Marguerite. Hello, Jennifer. There's Joanne. Happy Sunday. Deidre's here. How are you doing? There's Jenny. And Rebecca's here too. Yay, Rebecca. Jackie's here. It is a beautiful Sunday. Hi, Sandra. And Doris is here. Hello. Hello, Michelle. And Juanita, good to see you. Eileen's here. Hello, Beverly. Hi, Gwen. Rebecca is here, taking a break from yard work. That sounds like fun. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Susan. Stacy, good morning. Well, or afternoon, wherever you are. And Lizzie's here as well. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Jan. I see some old friends. Hello, Jillian. Hi, Deidre. She's taking some time. Okay, well, I'm glad you're doing that. Hello, Carol. Susan's here as well. Hello, hello. Well, here comes everyone, and it's good to see you all. Welcome. It is Sunday. Maybe Sunday Nunday, I don't know. Maybe for you, not for me. Hi, Janice. Rosemary's here. Good to see you. Emily's listening while she does her task, which is a great idea. It's a good idea to do those things. Hi, Jenny. And here comes everybody. We got another batch of folks coming in. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Sunday, Nunday, as I sometimes say, and sometimes show up without, any makeup or all of that on. But today, it's just another day. I've actually got some work to do, so thought I'd show up and share with you. Hi, Linda. She says Heidi ho, by the way. So Heidi ho to you, Linda. Good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. Today I'm going to talk, speaking of showing up, I'm talking to you today about showing up for your own life. Because I think sometimes we accidentally live our lives on default. And that needs to end if we want to have the things that we say that we want to have. Because our direction, our directional's off. The GPS is turned off. We need to turn that stuff all on so that we actually go where we want to go, right? Amen to that. Yesterday was quite a day. We had a whole day together and we did our Happy Mama Workshop. We called it Happy Mama Workshop because, when you're in the midst of mothering and schooling and doing all the things, life can get just a little bit complicated. And there's so many times where we forget about ourselves. We forget about the fact that we're also women, not just, producers, if you will, of all the things. We need to have space in our lives to concentrate on the things that we need to concentrate on. So yesterday was I think it was a real success, and we got a lot of really sweet, wonderful testimonials from some of those mamas who are really glad to be there. You can still get it. You can go to savingdinner.com/mama and see what the swag bag is all about. You also get a conference code discount so that you can take advantage of the discount that we're offering to our conference goers. And that swag bag is just ridiculously good. So just the swag bag alone would be worth, the price of admission, so to speak. Plus there's some good stuff there. I think we hit it out of the park. I'm just going to say that. I thought it was wonderful. Thank you, Melissa. She said, yes, yesterday was great. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Our hearts are for anyone who is trying to do the best that they can with what they've got, and sometimes we get overwhelmed and we want to take the overwhelm out and go to the place of calm. And the only way that we can do that is on purpose. We can't just do that by default and hope for the best. We've tried that. We've tried procrastinating. We've tried shooting from the hip. We've tried being like everyone else without taking into, into consideration who we are. So anyway, your daughter-in-law missed it signing up and she was upset. She can still get it, okay? Thank you, Denise. It was wonderful. I felt so too. Thank you, Yolanda. I'm glad you thought so. Our hearts are there. Our hearts are for women. Our hearts are very much pro-mama, very much pro-woman, and very much pro-you, and helping you to have the space that you need in your life to be able to go after the things you actually want. Not the stuff you don't want, the stuff you want, because that's where life starts to get very interesting, starts to be wonderful. We're going to talk about how to show up for your life today a little bit, because this is a never-ending conversation. We're never going to stop talking about this, because when we're in this default mode and we're just kind of going on automatic pilot, life is just passing us by, and I don't want that to happen for you. So that's why we're going to talk about it. So yesterday was Saturday, and of course, like I said, I was off the grid, so I'm here today. And here to help you. And by the way, if anybody needs any help with anything from downloading, because I just saw a note there, any downloading, any kind of whatever for the conference or the replay, please send in a note to support@savingdinner.com. We will be happy to help you out. We're not real good about doing customer service work here on Facebook, because that's not what this is here for, but I'm just letting you know that there is always help for you, but you just need to use the appropriate channels. Support@savingdinner.com, and we are there to help you out all the way. All right? There you go. So here's our new quote of the week, and this is by Carlos Castanedas, and he wrote several books. I was a big fan way back in college, but I thought this was so good and so appropriate for us, right? We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. Isn't that the truth? The amount of work is the same. And this is one of the things that, I needed to get through my big, fat, thick head, was that the amount of work that I am putting toward my complaining and lining up all the reasons why I'm in the right, and why I'm right, and why this needs to be, and blah, 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 blah. I've been in that position where I've just spent all of my energy on proving something, as opposed to spending all of my energy on the things that I actually want in my life. A lot of energy going toward complaining, a lot of energy going toward the things that I don't want, instead of the energy going toward the things that I do want. Say hi to Liz. She's showing up from Fly Lady. Hi, Liz. We love you. She shared too, by the way. Keep sharing. We love sharers. This is how we, bring in the folks into our community and love them up. So if you still want to get in on that, on our workshop, which it was a workshop, we left with a homework assignment to really create those bookends of your life. I'm going to be talking about that, your morning and your evening routine, to help you to get to the place that you want to get with your home, your life, your family, your relationships, all of it. This is how we make and create the lives that we truly want to lead. It is that incredible. So, and this Thursday too, we had somebody ask, well, how on earth can I need a health coach. I need some help. I need to do something different. What I'm doing right now is not working. Well, okay. So we put it out there. It's out there for you too. It's savingdinner.com/life to come to our Take Back Your Life workshop. I'm sorry, it's not a workshop. It's basically a webinar. It is a masterclass on how to take back your life and what this looks like, every aspect of it. Because it's not a one and done thing. Don't you wish we could just do that and say, yeah, I'm going to turn everything around just like that? That is not the case. It is not the case. So here's what you got to do. You got to live your life on purpose. And how do we do that? Come take a look. Go to savingdinner.com/life. Sign up. Sign up. It's free. It's going to be an hour. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, this coming Thursday. We've already got a lot of people signed up, and it's going to be fun. I'll give you some things that are actionable, things that you can do.
So keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. And don't forget too, we have a big supplement of the week. It's the Bio Omega 3X. Love this stuff. It's made with a dry Bio Omega fatty acid fish oil, dry. And you know why? So that we're not going to be eating rancid fish oils. Most of us have an omega-3 fatty acid deficit. We know this because we have flaky skin. We know this because our energy levels aren't up. We know this because, you know what? This is something that helps to bring down cholesterol. This is something that helps us with bodily functions, all kinds of them, because it's circulatory, basically a circulatory supplement. And most of us have this deficit because we get plenty of all the other omegas, fatty acids. We're not getting the fish oil, though. We're not. I mean, if you're eating, wild salmon every day, then maybe you are, but I doubt you are. When you put 3 in your cart, you'll get a 4th one free. This is, we get special deals because we order big lots of certain supplements, and we're doing that on a regular basis. Not all of them, just some of them. And when we do, we get our prices down. And when we do get our prices down, we are able to give you a screaming deal. Put 3 in your cart, we'll add the 4th one for you free. And don't forget, ships free is your code. When you check out, when you put that in the promo window, we will ship it to you 100% free. That's it. Especially if you live here in the United States, we can't do that. And then you get this cool cup, right? Mindful mug, pinkies up. I love it. That's my idea of a good time. So I wanted to share with you today a little bit about, this is a little bit about what we taught yesterday in our class when we were actually as a workshop. And I'm going to say just plain out, it was a workshop because it was getting into the weeds about what your life is about. And that's a customized, personalized plan, isn't it? Don't you wish you could just take somebody else's plan and put it on top of your own life? You cannot. You cannot. You know why? Because it's their life, not yours. You're not living their life. You're living your life. And when we want to go into the place of living our best life, we have to stop asking people, how do I do it? Tell me exactly what to do. Well, we can give you steps on things that you need to do and things you need to be aware of, but you got to get in there and customize it to make it your own. This is why diets fail all the time. 97% of the time they fail. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Is it because they're just crappy diets? Well, some of them are. Some of them are dumb. They're fad diets. They're this, that, or the other thing. So what I think it is that we want it done for us. We don't want to have to think, and we just want to default to that. And that, to me, my friends, is the carousel of crazy, because everybody's giving us their plan, their ideas, their perspective, and not taking into perspective your ideas, your plans, your life, the children that you have in your home, what your house looks like, what you need, what you don't need, and we're all square pegging it when we're very much round pegs, trying to fit into that hole. It'll never happen for you, ever. Now, there's some basic things that we can do to get, a basic baseline, It's sort of like going in and having your eyes checked or a mammogram or something like that. We get baseline things done. But along the way, we get some basic stuff done. We put our basic premises in place. Along the way, we got to get into the customization. We got to get into the personalization, and we got to recognize who we are and how we tick. And we need to respect ourselves enough to do that. That's why, when you come to Take Back Your Life on Thursday at 7 p.m., by the way, put that on your calendar, and don't forget savingdinner.com/life. When you do that, that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to hear about in that particular presentation. Because what I have found over 25 years of being a nutritionist, that one size does not fit all. Does that surprise you? But what I'll tell you what we do is we beat ourselves up and believe that it's our fault. We can't do it. We're not good enough. We don't have the wherewithal. We don't have the fill in the blank to be able to do it. So we go shopping for a new guru. We go shopping for a new book. We go shopping for a new way Somebody else show me. Somebody else do this. Oh, it's Fly Lady today. It's Marie Kondo tomorrow. It's this lady who I saw on the Today Show. Let's do it with organization. Oh, and now let's do it with our diet. I like this blonde bimbo with the fake boobs over here who was on the Today Show talking about this amazing plan. I like this gal over here who has a big following, so she must be right. We have a tendency to get swept away with all these expertise. What we need to be doing is looking at the long tail version of what works. You know, I will tell you, I have seen, and I, guilty. When I first met Marla, I mean, I can't tell you how many, you know, organization books I had in my bookshelf. You know, how many diet books I had, how many, all these things, looking and searching and trying to find the answer. Trying to find the answer and trying to find some belief in myself. You know, the belief in myself just wasn't there. Therefore, everybody else must have had the answers. And what I discovered, because I got to know Marla, was that her system was for everybody else, all the broken people. You know, for all of us broken folks who just didn't have our lives together the way we thought we did. For all us broken folks. And we got to get together and say, you know, I'm broken. I got this stuff going on. Oh, well, guess what? Human beings, women without perfect lives who want to do better. And that's what Marla does. She doesn't pull everything out of the closet and make you feel like an idiot because you've got so much stuff. She just says, you know what? It's time to get rid of it. And for you, when I'm talking about your diet, I'm talking about, you know what? Food does not discriminate. It wants to give you the things that it wants to give you, whether that's inflammation or whether that's all the things that you need, the energy in your cells and what have you. We've got to start differentiating between somebody who's trying to come alongside and help and love us up and get us to the next place versus people who are saying we need to do it perfectly. Perfect doesn't work. Perfect doesn't work. But we can create the life we want to live if we decide we're going to show up. We can. We show up, warts and all. We show up, flaws hanging out for everybody and their mother to see. We show up. We put on the bathing suit, even though we don't have the cute little figure we used to. We show up and we talk about the things that we want, and we look forward to a life that's going to bring that stuff in because we're focused on that. We understand that those little hinges are going to swing the big doors in our lives. We get it. And that's why I want you to join me on Thursday. And that's why I want you to stand up for yourself, to have a voice in your life, and to recognize it isn't about the gurus. And Marla will tell you the same thing. If she were sitting right here, she'd say that same thing. We've got to customize things to make our lives work. We have to have enough confidence in ourselves to understand that, you know what it was? And this is the thing that just blew my mind up. I never understood about having a morning routine or an evening routine. Never in my life. Although my mother just did it. She just did it. She just did it. My mom did it. My mom was, naturally organized. She had this thing going on. I didn't get it. And my house was either one way or the other way. There was no in between. It was trashed or it was cleaned up and immaculate. I mean, with a Q-tip cleaned up and immaculate. Because my perfectionism got in the way of everything in my life. I figured it had to be one way or there was a highway. I was always looking for that highway, by the way, because I was ready to just leave and get out. It was too hard doing it that way. And it was exhausting doing it that way. And I was tired of beating myself up. So what is the answer to all of that? The answer is showing up in your own life and having a voice for what works for you and what doesn't. And just because you're not going to do exactly to the very jot and tittle of everything that I say or Marla says or anybody else, understand that you can go through our stuff at any point and treat it like a buffet line. What do you like? What works for you? What adapts well for you? There's so many things there, because that's how it is. We put a lot of moving pieces into our lives. We have to put a lot of moving pieces into our lives. It's complicated. Ask any mom who was here yesterday about complications. It is complicated when you're trying to work at home, school at home with your kids, keeping everybody going through the tube with ease, keeping your house cleaned up, feeding everyone, having what you need in the house, getting everything done. This is the thing, this is just the demands of what is a normal life for a mom with a lot of things on her plate. And for all of us, I'm a mom, but my kids are grown and gone. I am still a mom though, and I still worry about my children every day, and I'm still catching up on them every day and watching them, maybe not talking to them, but I'm certainly watching them on social media and whatever. You want to know what's going on with your kids. You want to love them up. You want to protect them. You want to make sure they're doing well. But the thing is, we have to be showing up in our lives. We cannot live our lives in default. Bruce Lipton, who is a fabulous doctor, and he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, he says that 95% of the time we are living our lives in our subconscious. We're just going through the motions. That's Groundhog Day. Have you experienced that? Just Groundhog Day. Like getting in the car and driving somewhere and all of a sudden saying, oh my gosh, I don't even remember driving here, because we're just doing the same old scripts over and over in our head. And going nowhere fast, I might add. We're not getting what we want. We're not getting what we want in life because we're focused on the wrong things. And when we focus on the things that we want in our life, all of a sudden what will happen is just like, surprise, surprise, those things will start to show up in our lives because we'll start doing the things that we need to do in order to bring them in. What a concept. So I've got 7 things for you. 7 things for you that are going to help you on this. Christine, go to savingdinner.com/life, and that will give you all kinds of information and tell you all about what you're going to get, what you're getting yourself into on Thursday. I hope to see you there. Somebody just said, and I just missed it, somebody just said, there is quite a transition from being an empty nester. Yes, there is. And we have to stop saying, oh, well, this comparison game makes me berserk. When we play the comparison game, what we're basically doing is dismissing showing up in our life and saying, you know what? You don't have it as hard as I do. I am the one that has it so hard because I've got these 3 little kids at home. I've got all these, whatever to do. I've got this, I've got that, and therefore it's harder for me than it is for you. Where's your energy going? Your energy going into the comparison mode instead of, what can I do better in my life? What can I take out and put in instead? Where is your energy? Where your energy goes, that's where your life goes. And if your life is going in a way you don't like, if you're depressed, you're feeling kind of down, you can't get out of the doldrums, you're looking at your life and going, is this really all there is? This is awful. If you're not producing results, if you don't have a home that you're proud of, if you feel really tired and no energy in your life, where is your energy going? It's going where your mind is going. And if you're doing things that you don't like, and if you aren't even aware of the fact that you're spending all of your time on the things that you don't want in your life, then maybe it's time to change that up. And that's why I'm saying it is time to show up for your life. Not just be in default all the time, just going through the motions. How boring is that? And not only how boring is that, what is it getting you? Nothing. Because I know what that is. I've done it too. And what I've found is when I show up on purpose, with a plan, with everything in place that I want in place for my life, life starts to work on my behalf. How funny is that? And that's biblical too. I'm going to share that with you. So what we need to do is, number 1, we got to start with the bookends of our lives. And that is a morning routine and an evening routine. Marla broke that down beautifully yesterday. She broke it down and she gave pieces of what this looks like in order to create just habits, to put some of it on automatic pilot and then to be present with some of the other stuff, because that makes all the difference in the world. We want an automatic pilot cleaning that bathroom, don't we? Because really, you don't have to put your heart, mind, and soul into cleaning your bathroom. You just need to get it done. But you do need to put your heart, mind, and soul into developing the person of who you are. Yesterday I was talking about this. I called it the sacred space. There is a sacred space that's within each one of us. And when we create a sacred space for ourselves and we have time to meditate and to pray and to have gratitude and to journal and to bring in the things that we want into our lives, I am telling you right now, God is on duty working on your behalf. He is. Because you've brought it to his attention. You've let him know, these are the things that I want to look at. You know, what is worthy of praise? Those are the things that are worthy of praise. Is complaining? No. Is grousing about your life? No. Is saying that this is too hard, I can't do it, I'm overwhelmed, and then I'm going to call everybody I know, put it on my Facebook page, and alert the media that all of this is going on, and your energy is directed toward that? Is this how God is going to come into your life and start blessing you? Absolutely not. You've put him on alert that you're just completely dissatisfied. No good, God. Not doing it right. That's what you're saying. So what if we flip that? What if we flip that and instead decide that we're going to show up? We're going to show up and we're going to just start taking back our lives. We're going to take them back because this time, this place, this purpose, this where we are right now in our lives, it's precious right now. It is precious. And if you don't believe that you're put here on purpose by God at this time for a reason, then you're missing out. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm seeing some women who are talking about they're feeling lost about being empty nesters. Please show up on Thursday. I'm an empty nester too. I get it. There's this place, there's a vacancy that has happened, right? The rooms are empty. The children are gone. Their things are gone. And it's a different thing. It's a time to shift. It's time to shift. But it doesn't mean that your life is over. It just means that now is time for a different way to concentrate and look at your life. Now you have room. Now you have the ability to do something else. And not only that, you can still be involved in your children's lives. We need to start celebrating our emptiness. And that doesn't mean that there might not be a small bit of mourning time that goes with it. All our parenting's done, right? But there is still a place for you in your life. There's still a place as a parent. There's still a place for you with a purpose. And I don't want anybody to ever forget that. We do have those empty places in our hearts, don't we? All of us. We have empty places in our hearts when our children are no longer in diapers. Not that we're missing the diapers, but that era is over. As they grow older and as they graduate from high school and as they go to college and you drop them off, I remember, thinking to myself, oh my gosh, having my daughter out of the house, because there comes a certain point where sometimes your daughters are just a bit much. And I just remember this, taking my daughter to college, and then I had a business trip and I had to drop I had all these things going on. And I was getting her money at the ATM machine, and I just burst into tears because all of a sudden and my bottom lip was going, this came out of nowhere. My daughter's leaving. My daughter is never, ever, ever going to again be home in my house under my watch. It's different. But we have to shift. This is the demands that we have on our lives. Our lives are always going to be shifting, always going to be different. There's going to be different ages, stages, and what have you. But I want to bring you into the circle of understanding that it's not over. It's just changed. It's shifted. And we have the opportunity to shift with it. We have the opportunity to take this time that we have that we didn't have before. We have an opportunity to expand on this and to have lives that are just as big, just as lovely, just as meaningful, and just as purposeful as when we were actively parenting. God is not done with you. He has plans for you, which is coming up here in a minute. So we have to create the bookends. When we have a morning routine and we have an evening routine and things that we just do on automatic pilot and things that we do on purpose and that we're present with, we can start creating lives that are really meaningful, that are giving us the results that we want, the goals that we have for our lives, the visions that we have. So we need to do that. That's number one. Number one always is creating that kind of a morning and an evening routine. We call them rituals even here in Take Back Your Life. We call them rituals because we have elevated them to that place. And we also spend some time with what I'm calling now the sacred space, where you are nurturing heart, mind, and soul. We have to have that space. We have to. Because when we are all connected, heart, mind, and soul, that's when we start moving the needle in our lives. Not just the one between our toes when we're weighing ourselves, but the needle in our lives. We're living our lives on purpose. And it's a beautiful thing. So number 2 is making that sacred space. Make that for yourself. Have a journaling time. Have a time of gratitude. Have a time of prayer and meditation. And allow yourself to be connected with all of who you are. Who you are is just not about who's on the scale and schlepping kids here, hither and yon, and cooking up another meal and cleaning another toilet. Who you are is who you are. Heart, mind, body, and soul. When we're connected like that, we feel calm, we feel peaceful, and things start to connect in our lives. It's an amazing thing that happens. The other thing is we need to start looking at simplifying. You know, we talked about this in depth yesterday. Clutter has stood in the way of your life. Now, there are so many different kinds of clutter. There's visual clutter that you see when you walk out into your living room first thing in the morning. I shared with everyone yesterday that one of the things that I do right before I go to bed is fluff up the pillows on my couch. You know, Mark and I have been lounging around, sitting around on the couch, and you know, they're all over the place, and the books might be kind of askew, and I just take 5 seconds to put them all back and to put my books straight on the coffee table. The kitchen's already cleaned. So when I get up in the morning, that for me is a sacred time. I get up in the morning first thing and I walk out, and what do I see? I see my couch, I see my coffee table, and I see the landscape of my kitchen because it's all opened up. And it's all lovely and in order. And I do this because it blesses me. It makes me feel good about the way things are. It is a reminder that I did the work. It is a reminder that I have a peaceful, happy home. It is a reminder that it's time for me to have some sacred space, some time for reading, some time for meditation, some time for prayer. And it's sitting there and it's waiting for me. That's what I've done there. And all of us can do that. It's making that decision, though, that this is important, and that's how we get that done. Number 3 or number 4, I don't even know where we are. You guys are going to have to tell me what the numbers are. But food will either fuel you or it will exhaust you. There's no in between. Food is fuel, and it's also information for your body. Your body has a choice of what to do with what it is that you eat. So when that food comes through, your body's going to say, yay, yay me. You're fueling me. You're giving me everything that I need. Thank you. I'm going to go, you know, clean up some mitochondria, you know, and fuel them up and make you so much more energetic. Or I'm going to exhaust you. I'm going to give you inflammation. I'm going to give you pain in your joints. I'm going to give you a bloated belly. I'm going to give you brain fog. I'm going to mess up your skin. I'm going to make you feel rotten, depressed, and just hopeless. I'm going to make your weight blow up. I'm going to make you feel like you can't do anything right. This is what happens because food fuels our lives. So if you want food to fuel the life that you want to lead, then you need to leave those those anti-nutrient type of foods behind. You need to leave that stuff behind and understand that big food has charged that stuff up to make it so addictive. No one can eat just one. Remember that? That's Lay's potato chips. And believe me, that was found out in a lab. And those food things that are out there that are masquerading as real food, which they're not, are there to take over and addict you, to tantalize your taste buds and not give you one scrap of nutrition. Your body doesn't work well with that. It doesn't know what to do with it. And as a matter of fact, all those chemicals are so inflammatory that your body reacts with inflammation and all of the above, the things that I just said. So start understanding food like that. Start understanding what food does, what it can do, and what it can't do. It also is never going to hold your hand. It's never going to love you up. It's never going to provide you with the hug that you need. It's never going to be an emotional escape hatch, although that's what we use it for. It will disappoint you every single time. So let's look at food from a different perspective, and let's start getting hooked on the things that make us feel good, because food has that kind of power, okay? And let's start here. You know, here's a hard one, and this one's hard for me too, I admit it, because it's a veg out thing. Let's start limiting our screens, shall we? Do we need to be hooked 100% on our phones all the time? Are we missing out on our children's childhoods because we're too busy on the phone? We were at a concert a while ago. This is a couple of summers ago, and it was a great concert. You know, it was, golly, why can't I think? Hall & Oates, which, come on, that's some great music, right? So watching the Hall & Oates concert, and everybody is taking their phones and they're filming it. And Mark started to do that, and I said, put it down. I said, experience it instead, because you're never going to watch that, number one. Maybe you'll share it a little bit on social media at some point, but who cares? We're there to get a concert. Let's enjoy it. I remember the old days where we had Bic lighters, you know, and not our stupid phones. But I watched everybody in the audience doing this with their phone, and I'm thinking, you're not enjoying this. You're taping it. You're a cameraman. You're not experiencing this. So let's stop this. Let's stop this. Let's instead line ourselves up with being present with our families and our children, with our spouses, with our lives. We opt out when we're constantly on a screen. We opt out. The other thing we have to look at is simplification. You know, how do we simplify this? Well, we simplify it, we declutter, we get rid of it. There's clutter everywhere. I just was mentioning this a while ago. I think I got distracted. The clutter between your ears, though, man, that'll ruin you. That'll ruin you. That'll take you into the downward spiral. Let's declutter our houses and just start getting ruthless with that. The less we have, the better we feel. The less we have, as far as all the clutter. I mean, I'm not saying live a Spartan life and go, you know, live in a monastery on a mountain somewhere. I'm just saying that when we get rid of clutter and everything has a space, and we're not worried about trying to juggle or get more Rubbermaid tubs or store things or get a storage area or buy more hangers or stuff more things in our drawers, when we have that kind of space, we clear out the mental clutter too. It gives us some air to breathe, essentially. And the last thing I'm going to say is that God is always working on your behalf. Do you believe that? Pinkies up. Is he working on your behalf? Well, we're told he is. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. It's right there. It's in Jeremiah. That's Jeremiah 29:11. You know, I've got that. I have that Bible verse somewhere, you know, in a frame. Probably gave it away, because I probably gave away stuff that I just didn't need anymore. I didn't need for my walls. What does that tell you? That tells you that he has plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Now that hope and future, I'm going to tell you right now, do you know where that hope and future is? That hope and future is in what you're thinking about. Is that what you're thinking about? Are you thinking about hope and a future? Are you thinking about how God has plans to prosper you? Are you thinking about that? If you put your concentration on that and your focus on that and your vision and the goals for your life and everything that you want on that, that's when life starts to expand the borders of your heart. That's when life starts to give us all the things that we've been asking for and that we love and we want. That's when our perspective changes. And that's what happens when we show up for our lives. They're waiting for us. That delicious, juicy life, that vibrant life that we all want so much, it's waiting for us. But maybe our perspective is wrong. Maybe we have something in front of it that's not getting us there. And that's what I'm asking you to do right now, is start showing up for your life. Be present. Be present. And start recognizing that now is the time. It's not going to happen overnight either, you guys. It doesn't. It takes a minute. You know, that's why in Take Back Your Life, we work on it for a year. You know why? Because we need the time. Show up for your life. It's time. I love you, and I wish you all the peace that God has to offer. And I'm just saying to you, peace be with you, because today can be the first day of the rest of your life, seriously, if this is what you want. Your perspective needs to change. It's time to show up. Love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, and I'll see you at tea time. Bye.